Hello, I hope you're all doing well. In my last video, I had mentioned Yahweh and other lords that rebelled, a main reason why they became upset. If you didn't watch it, then I suggest you go back and watch it, and especially the music videos that I linked in the comment section. But from all my other videos, as well as my last one, now you can comprehend why Yahweh put himself in the place of the true divine father and totally erased the divine mother like she didn't exist, and then claimed ownership of the true divine mother and father's son because he wanted that position, that title, that ranking. There you have it. This is why Yahweh, or Jehovah, the common name now, is insistent on wiping out all these other lords and Baals and then elevating himself into a position that is not his. But he's done so masterfully. And this is why it's said that he basically presents himself as an angel of light when he is anything but that. But at one time he was. It's just that he wanted to be something that he wasn't. I mention this because this whole concept and many people wondering why, how can source even allow this to happen? How can the true divine father allow this to happen? So hopefully by the end of the video, you will comprehend more of this as well. Now, unconditional love and forgiveness. It's a beautiful thing if ones don't take advantage of it. I say this because it is another reason why not just the sons of Source rebelled, but also one sided with these lords, is because they felt that there should be consequences to anyone's actions. So they felt that they had a better way to do things, and you can see the outcome from the world around us. They did not want ones to have free will. They did not want ones to have unconditional love, forgiveness. They wanted to be the ones to judge and then hand out the punishment. And you can see this throughout the Hebrew scriptures with Yahweh. That was his thing. He was a jealous God. He wanted to put himself in the place of another Lord, which is why he was so jealous, because he basically took that spot. Now, with forgiveness, yes, it's necessary. It is. Unconditional love, beautiful thing, because it is what guides your actions. With that knowledge of what true unconditional love is, that divine love, it will guide all of the laws and principles and the way that you live your life. So it was brought before me. Basically, another perspective, because many like to say about the prodigal son and use the whole story as unconditional love and forgiveness. But what's not highlighted is the second son who stayed loyal to his father and faithful and who was there for the father while the other son went off with his inheritance and left them to pick up the pieces when he up and left with his portion of the inheritance. This faithful son now had the work of two individuals instead of one. If you are this son and you see your father having a party for him and slaughtering the finest of the flock for this son that went his own direction, how would you feel, especially when you didn't get that same treatment as a faithful and loyal son? Just putting it out there, how would you feel? Because this was brought before me. And sometimes you have to experience it to truly understand it. Now, many say, well, he was sorry. That's divine forgiveness and love. And yes, that is. But the point that many people miss is that the reason that son who left came back was because he was at the lowest point in his life before he decided to come back to his father and be apologetic. So I ask the question, if you have to get to that point to feel remorse for what you did, are you truly repentant? Are you truly sorry? That's the question. Or did you just get yourself in a situation that was so bad that you took advantage of your father's love and forgiveness? Now, I say this because you have to think about this on a universal scale with these energies that rebelled and ones that were even created to have no love in them, to be soldiers with no love at all. What do you do in that situation? When these ones only continue to come to you when they're at their lowest, so that they can use your resources, get back on their feet, and then continue to do badness and harm others as well as themselves. What do you do in that situation? Do you allow it to just continue? To a certain point, yes. You hold out hope that they will be reformed and not have to get to the lowest point in life to come to you. Because what do they do after that? How do they live their life after that? That shows you if they are remorseful or not. I say this because there are ones who do really wicked things. They hurt so many people. They know what they're doing, and they continue to do it with no remorse or repentance. Does that sound familiar? We won't apologize because they're not sorry, and they even continue doing it. When is enough enough? The other thing is this whole concept of ranking and wanting to be more important than someone else. There are ones that felt that they need to be elevated above the next one. We don't want to be equal. We want to basically lord it over other energies, under other individuals, other creations. So what do you do in that instance when you, as the almighty creator, who most people don't even know because you don't even care about rank, when of anyone who could do this, it would be Source, the divine mother, father, son. It would be them. But instead, even when they carnate in different galaxies, dimensions on Earth, they're humble. They take positions to not elevate themselves amongst others in society, and they make sure of that. So, this is also a problem because as long as you have ones who are going to compete to feel more important than someone else, that is going to be an issue. So, it's just one of the things I wanted to bring out. And this whole concept of, Of if someone slaps your cheek, give them the other one. No, enough of that. Because it's been proven that if you give them the other cheek to slap, they're going to want to do harm to the rest of your body as well. You're going to be used, and that is what has happened. There have been ones that have used that unconditional love and forgiveness to their advantage. That unconditional love as well, that is shown for all life. Also, I will talk about it probably in my next video, but it's like, when is enough enough? Well, I could kind of touch on it now, but it was basically shown to me in real life in 3D with flies, number one. It was a situation where it was winter, it was December, it was cold outside, and for whatever reason, this was when I was in New York. My children, I'm sure, remember it. We had flies all over the house, all over the house. And it was like, where in the world would these things come from in the middle of winter, number one? And number two, at that time, I did not want to kill anything at all. I was still in that phase where I'm like, oh, it's life. I'm not going to kill it. So I'll just say, Father was like, okay, in an instance like this, these flies are obviously contaminating your house. What are you going to do about it? I know you love them, you feel for them, but you can either kill them yourself or you can try and catch them and put them outside where they're also going to die and freeze to death because that's not a habitat that they can survive in. These were my options. So it was then that it started to dawn on me that no matter how much I love certain life forms, sometimes they're in places they do not belong and they become pests in the environment that they're in. Okay, another example, mosquitoes. It was mosquitoes that were literally just, it seemed like attacking me every time I went outside. I mean, there were so many of them. And they literally just cause suffering. They spread disease, they cause itching, and just, they're not beneficial to humanity. They're not. They were just like other life forms created to create suffering in this world. So, no matter how much you try to control the population of mosquitoes by having, let's say, bats that do eat them and dragonflies, they reproduce at rates so quickly that there is no way to ever catch up. Sadly, this is the case with certain energies who rule this world right now. They have proven time and time again that they are parasites, they are pests, they are destroying the home or the earth that others depend on to live. So, although you love them unconditionally and hope they would have a useful purpose, you have to come to the conclusion that there are ones that really do not have an honorable purpose. So, these are things that were brought out to me. These are things that have continued to go on, but it can't continue forever. This is why it's common knowledge, if you look at history, that basically the earth resets itself every so many cycles. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say for today. Um, I'm just saying, be the best you. Work on yourself, love yourself, do that healing work. It is difficult. But if you You have to feel you are worth every ounce of that energy and healing and love and forgiveness that you give yourself. You know your heart. Don't let anyone treat you or tell you that you are not worth anything. Because to Source, you're beautiful. Okay? All right. I love you all. I'm sending you my peace. Take care.